Hello and welcome everybody. We are Strategic Impact. I'm Gabor and my partner in crime Zoltan. And today again we will talk about the NFT launches. As you may remember, we had just two podcasts about how we should launch a successful NFT project, and we just gave you an overview about a framework, 7 steps you should consider and really find out for the sake of success. In this case, in this podcast, we will talk about the first part of this framework, and we will talk about the roadmaps. This is a very important topic because every project starts with this very thing, and you really need to consider well how to build up your roadmap, and this will be the thing that sells for the people, and they will decide, okay, I believe in this project or I don't. And we will talk about 3 topics here. First, what we consider when we are investing into an NFT project. What are the aspects we are considering here? The second part will be about some good examples, projects who those has really good roadmaps, and the third part will be about the bad examples, the bad apples that's really went wrong. They started with some good ideas or some good assets, but the projects went south. Okay, let's just jump in and let's just talk about that, what we consider when we are investing into an NFT project. So, Zoltan, what are your points for investing?
Yeah, for me, whenever I look at a roadmap or a project, I immediately look at two things. Is the roadmap containing any elements that is creating value long term for the holders? And the second part, is there a team behind who can actually execute? We will talk about the second part a little bit later, so let's focus on the first bit, which is the actual value creation. If you look at NFT collections that are being launched today or have been launched in the last couple of weeks or months, most of them contain elements like, we will send certain amount of the income to charities. We will do some, I don't know, drops that will be like, I don't know, selected members of the NFT holders. We will create a merch store, and many of them that's where they end. Some of them will say that we'll create a game. And when I look at these values, then I think about charity, right? If I want to contribute charity to charities, there's so many ways to do that, right? There's a lot of ways to actually contribute to charity. And me as an NFT holder, saying that the project will drop, I don't know, 50% of the income to a charity is not raising the value of the NFT in any way for me, right? That's just a nice gesture, but it
Not
doesn't
at
create
all.
any volume, right? So I can't really get excited about that. Not to mention that if I want to support a charity, I want to support a charity that I'm choosing, right? Not a community, not not a project. I'm choosing it because it's close to my heart. So it's not amazing. If somebody says,
And
"Yeah, go ahead, please."
yeah, when we are talking about charity, I don't like these kind of charity approaches because if I would like to support some bad folks in Africa who's in hunger, so if I want to send them a cake, I don't want to send the quarter of the cake and give the 3/4 for some rich guys in London.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's very well put.
That's I think
Not how it
this
works.
is bad in this way.
Yeah. I mean, I get the gesture. It's just that's not how I think people operate. That's not what the motivating factor will be here. The second item is like the random drops, right? Like there is so many games and there is like so many gambling opportunities, or just buy a lottery that's just as likely to give you value back than just getting selected from a collection of 10,000, that you are going to be the one NFT holder that is going to get some certain drop, like a rare art. Like, I'm not going to bank on that, right? I'm not going to invest because of this. I'm not going to think that the value is going to skyrocket and I can flip that NFT because of this item. So it's not a strong value proposition. I'm not saying it's nothing, it's just I'm saying it's not a strong value proposition. The merch store, you have seen it with Basie and with many projects recently. Like, if you create a merch store where some of the fans can buy something, or maybe the NFT holders get like NFT branded merches, like you get a mug and stuff, that is not creating much value. I mean, you can spin this story in a very different way, and we can talk about that, but by itself, just dropping some merch is just not exciting. It's again not creating a significant value. That's not why that NFT is gonna be 10 Ethereums, right? That's not what you're looking for. And of course, we have already talked about the games in a previous podcast, that building a game is really hard, and building a compelling game that people will play with and it's going to be really benefiting the holders is an even harder task that requires huge teams and multiple years, actually. So these very typical elements that you can find in today NFTs projects is just not creating too much values. So I would say that these are the elements that are everywhere, but it's just not exciting for me. How about you?
Neither for me. I'm looking for some projects who's really have a great vision. If you remember back when Basie started and many other projects are started, they had some really shitty roadmaps. They are just giving back the loan for my mother or something like that.
But it
That's
worked at
not
that
working.
time, right? It was
That
okay
worked.
at that time.
Yeah, it was okay. It was romantic in some ways, but nowadays we need to consider something much better.
Yeah, you need to stand
And
out.
it needs to be realistic, like Prada did. Prada is opening an in real life store, and you will be able to use these NFTs there, and it will be a VIP experience there. This is really something. Also, what Adidas does, they are connecting it with some other services.
Yeah.
And it will create a membership program. It has a great vision there, which can hold many benefits for the people who's actually buying these stuffs and holding on the long run. They have a vision there. That's what I appreciating here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm looking for these kind of projects. And the other thing I'm always checking is the team. I know in the previous podcast we also talked about the importance of the teams, but still we really need to talk about this because this also changing here. Back then when Basie started, everybody had some funky avatar names, and no one knows who's are those guys. And this is why there is a wild west in the NFT space, and this is why 98% of the projects are garbage. But it's changing because serious projects are actually revealing the team members, and these team members need to be some really experienced guys who can actually deliver, and they have some past with delivering stuffs.
Exactly, that is the point. It's very interesting, because for a lot of people, like when they enter the NFT space, that's when they really first meet with the idea of investing into a team that is going to be delivering a digital product experience, whatever we are talking about, merge store or whatever. We have been doing software engineering for 15, 16, 17 years now. And it has always been kind of like, it's not really a meme, it's like a hidden truth of this industry, that like 4 out of 5 projects or startups or products, they fail, right? They fail for
Yes.
many reasons, but the main reason, the one common denominator, is usually the team and their ability to execute, either because of expertise, the lack of processes, just they don't actually know how to deliver a digital product with timelines and
Yes.
on budget and all of that stuff. And a lot of people, a lot of teams are launching NFT collections, and you can clearly look at the teams and you can know that they don't have this experience, because there's like 2 designers who have started working on a technical product or a game together with somebody who has written a smart contract before. Like, these are not the teams that will be able to deliver you that strong value. Maybe they will deliver some hyped up project that will give you a flipping potential, but it's not something that will create you a value that will be there for you in the next 2 years.
Yeah. So we have to say out loud, actually delivering results for digital products is hard. It's super hard. I've seen so many examples for projects who wasn't able to deliver a product for 3 years from $3 million. They were failed, and seen something really similar with a really experienced team who was able to deliver the same thing in 3 months from $50,000.
Yeah, that's the thing,
Huge,
right?
huge differences
That's a
in
huge
the
difference.
ability. And that's why, if you see the project is full with people without experience, that can be a problem. And we're also seeing it in the NFT space. Many NFT launch is having problems and failures because of the lack of experience.
Exactly.
And I think NFT is even more difficult than usual project, because if it's a web project, I can fix everything in just one more release. We are just giving out some bug fixes. It's easy. It's going through the CI/CD pipeline and it's okay. But in case of the NFT project, if you are publishing a smart contract which is buggy, oh man,
Oh yeah,
you
you
are
don't want
having
to be in that
problems
space.
there
You don't want to be in that
because you
space.
cannot replace it. It's just there. So this is why I think the team is important, the experience is important, and if it's lacking, I wouldn't want to invest in those projects, especially if you are planning for the longer run. They are trying to building up some bigger thing and using the NFT launch as just an investment for the later project. Yeah. But let's just talk about some really good examples. What do you think? What was the last good example you've seen regarding the roadmaps that you really liked and you actually invested into, and why?
Yeah, to be fair, there is not many. In the previous podcast, we have already mentioned one that I found very very good and very smart, and it was clear that the owners knew what they were doing, really, because they have built a very solid uh, technical product, and that's why they have kind of skyrocketed. They have IDOs and everything. It was the Shadowy Supercoders project, which wasn't even on Ethereum. It was on Solana, and to make a big splash there is 10 times harder than doing the same thing on Ethereum. But their product was on the Solana network, so that's why they had to go there. But that was a very strong value proposition there. A very good, very interesting example is, for example, the Azuki one, which was earlier this year, and they are constantly in the top 10, usually on the lead, on the top 1, 2, or 3 in OpenSea, and it's very interesting because after they have been very successful, they kind of actually tapped into the new meta, which was the anime for a while. So they got kind of lucky in that sense that the community really picked up the idea. But in terms of roadmap and execution, they have been doing actually quite well so far. One of the first thing they did, it wasn't even actually on the roadmap, but one of the first thing they did is that they came up with a smart contract optimization solution, a new standard, 721A, which was basically optimizing minting. So if you minted one or you minted, let's say, 10 NFTs, then the gas price would be exactly the same. There's no difference in gas price. And they created an article around it. They created a big blog post. They have explained exactly. They have open sourced the contract. And you looked at it and you evaluated it. And the first thing that came to your mind is that, okay, I think I have much more trust now in this team, because these guys, first of all, care about the community to create a contract that will, help them save money. Second, there is some technical expertise here, right? It's not just a contract copied from Etherscan or just clicked basically together with Open Zeppelin's contract builder. So it was more serious than that. That was the very first step that created a little bit of trust in me. And then if you looked at the actual idea, they were mainly around entering, metaverse, building a brand. But it was very important that they were talking about building a brand. They were not talking about just having a merch store to drop a coffee mug. They were actually talking about building an IRL and a digital brand around their NFTs. And they have been doing massive hiring since. They have been working a lot to make this happen. They have, from the day one, they communicated they're going to create the first metaverse brand and a shop. Well, they're obviously not going to be a first metaverse brand, but it still can be something really successful. And they had this vision, and they have been executing really strongly. So I would say that that project has some real value attached to it. Of course, the shop is not out yet. You don't know how that's gonna play out, but you'll have to see. And with many projects, we were talking about this previously, with many projects, when you see the concept of the merch store, my immediate question is, if you create a merch store, then why don't you create a shop? Why don't you say that I'm going to create a brand from my NFTs? Why don't you say that, you know what, whatever sale I'm going to do, I'm going to turn back, let's say, 80% of the profit back to my NFT holders? What did you do there?
That's it.
Why did you do that? You just built a business. So you just gave true value to your NFT holders, because they will get somehow a passive revenue stream from just holding their NFTs. What will that lead to? It will be leading up the price. It will be making the price increase for the NFT, because it will be more valuable over time if your shop kicks off and it's going to be a recognized brand. Then it can work for a lot of money. Would you invest in that? Well, if I like the artwork, if I like the vision, if I like the team, sure, that's a very interesting value proposition for me.
Actually, I pretty much agree with you. And this is a kind of vision I can believe in, and I would like to invest into, because if they really create this brand and really create this shop and it actually builds up, I can become a shareholder there. And on the long run, it will create me more and more and more passive income. This is it. And in this case, I will see it's not just about, having some JPEGs on the blockchain.
Yeah, that is. A lot of people won't agree with me, and I don't want to go into the technical details, maybe in a separate episode, but I absolutely don't believe in the art aspect at this stage, because the tech is not there. So I'm not investing in an art. I'm investing in being part of something. And if that something has a value, then it's worth it. In this case, if you build a brand on top of your art, and the revenue from that brand goes back to the NFT holder, at least a certain part of it, that's a value for me. Having a pretty picture not that much. I do agree that some of them, like having a basie in your avatar profile, is is kind of appealing because it's the same as wearing
Yeah,
a channel bag, right? It's the same thing.
yeah, but this is about prestige.
It's about prestige.
You want to show that you are having it. It's like
Absolutely.
a Rolex. It's not a Rolex, but imagine that it's a Rolex. It's more about the prestige. It's not just about the function. You want to look the time, and it's just good looking. You want to show that okay, I can afford it, and it shows, a lifestyle and an income.
Yeah, but the next ape project or gorilla project or penguin or whatever is not gonna have the same effect anymore as Basie. We
No,
will
not at
it
all.
is very very likely that we will not see another Basie like project to skyrocket as much as they did because they were the first ones, so that it became a prestige. Of course, there is like CryptoPunks and Macy, but all of those coming from the early days. Right now, everybody is launching better art, by the way, more cool characters, but it's not gonna go there anymore because you can't have
I think,
100 channels, right? You can't
yeah,
have 100 uh, uh, I don't know, Adidas, right? You can have some, but not hundreds.
yeah. I think this is the right time to talk about the bad examples because many projects go south because they don't understand the world is changing. This market is also changing pretty fast. Some tactics was really successful in November, but not in 2022 February.
Yeah, that's true. I have a very good example, a very interesting example actually, and which shows you how extremely important your vision and your roadmap is. There was recently a quite, I would say, famous NFT collection release, which was Roborovsky. So Roborovsky was uh, an art collection that was associated with Dev Patel, the actor. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Dev Patel, maybe. Um, and uh, and there was a big studio behind it as well. I mean, a big company who was also, in part taking, a responsibility for delivering a movie called Hotel Mumbai. So there were some serious people, the completely doxed team behind. You could see everybody's profile, pictures, LinkedIn, whatever. So you can see who the project owners are. The art is, okay. It's a bit
Yeah,
strange. It's a bit strange. It's very different. It's not the next. It's not a next ape project, but I mean there is a good character behind it. It's funny.
yeah,
It could be a good world built up. But what is important is that the roadmap is completely empty. The roadmap effectively says we will sell out, and then together with the community, we will figure out what to do. Are we gonna do a movie? Are we gonna do a TV show? Are we gonna do a cartoon? Are we gonna do a God knows what? There is there is no clear direction where this is gonna go. So me as an NFT holder, I can see, oh, is there gonna be a movie here? Is there gonna be a cartoon here? Wait a minute. So what am I
what?
buying really here? I mean, yeah, sure. Dev Patel is a great actor. He has amazing movies. I actually love him, but that's not enough. Like, show me
Yeah,
some value. And what was the result? They were planning to release 10k items in the collection. They couldn't. They had to decrease the supply, and they ended up at 7,500. If I remember correctly, the minting price was 0.16. Now I'm not sure what the price is, but I'm pretty sure it's below 0.16.
yeah,
It's a complete
and
at this moment, right? It's
yeah,
organic growth, and they had like 60k Twitter followers, so everything was set on course to be a successful launch. You had a docs team, you had a famous person behind, a studio behind. Everything was there except the clear value from the NFT. And I know we are in a bear market, but even in bear market, projects with a good roadmap can succeed.
And I'm very sad because of this project, because there is a really, really good team behind it. I'm sure they spend hundreds, if not thousands of hours to brainstorm
Yeah.
what they should do. And the only thing they just came out with, yeah, we have Dev Patel. That's it. That's the only value proposition I can read out from
Yeah,
this
I mean,
project.
they created a really nice animated movie, a small animated movie. Like for the reveal, they have created pretty decent artwork. It's not just a generated crap; like it's pretty decent. Uh, and
But
still, there is
still,
no
it's
value
empty.
besides
It's
some.
empty.
Yeah, exactly. And don't get me
And
wrong,
I
they might
think,
take
I
their own
think,
turnarounds.
yeah, maybe,
Well,
maybe. But I think they just started this whole thing many months ago. I'm pretty sure they started around past summer, and they were slow with the execution, and it may been successful past summer, but this February, not at all,
yeah, the thing
not
is,
at all, because many things are changed, and they didn't adapt it.
yeah. I'm pretty sure they would have been successful in December or January as well, when the market was basically on a high, like everything just sold out in minutes. People went crazy, but then we hit a bear market. We are clearly in an NFT bear market right now. Exciting collections don't sell out, and everything is just going down. There's a lot of things happening in the world, so people actually look at the investment value. They're much more careful about what they're putting their money on. They just don't throw money at everything. So you need to have a clear value proposition. A clear value
And
proposition
you
that
need
just
to have a
goes
really good.
exactly. It just goes beyond the idea of you will get a whitelist spot for the next NFT collection. That is not enough. You need to provide value with this one. If it goes into IRL, even better. If it contributes to the entire ecosystem of, let's say, blockchain, even better. If you are using your NFT to promote a product, great. Turn the profits back to your NFT holders. It will create value. There is a lot of things that you can do to increase that value. Making empty promises that you can't deliver on, or making just promises that nobody really cares about, is just definitely not the way to go.
I think this is the excellent summary of this episode. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching us again. Hope you enjoyed it, and join us in a few days when we are coming with the next episode, when we will talk about some really interesting stuffs regarding the go-to-market strategy. So see you guys then. Bye bye.
Bye bye.